A great exercise to improve your scene description is to pick a scene from one of your favorite films, watch the scene, pause it, and transcribe the scene into script form. Essentially, you're reverse engineering the script. And then you can pull up the original script and check your work. This is a very humbling and instructive exercise. So I've done this a few times with scenes from the Coen Brothers films. It's a great way to accelerate your learning by pitting yourself against really high caliber writers like the Coen Brothers. So today I thought I'd take a exercise that's usually done in private and do it publicly. And this way you can also join in and we can check our work together against the Coen Brothers. A reason it's great to do this with filmmakers like the Coen Brothers is because they're such visionary writer-directors, there's a very clear script-to-screen translation in their scripts. If you ever sit down with one of their scripts and watch the finished cut, it's impressive to see how pure the translation between script and screen is. They know exactly what they're going for, and they're pretty good at hitting their target. So I thought we'd do this today with a scene from the beginning of The Big Lebowski, where the dude walks into a Ralph's, buys a carton of half and half, and pays for it by check. The scene is linked in the description below. So it's starting with him walking into Ralph's, and it ends with him seeing George Bush on the television. I'm not going to include the dialogue when I reverse engineer this scene because the dialogue's not subjective. Because the dialogue is fixed, it wouldn't teach us much. So if you'd like to participate in this, go ahead and pause the video, click the link in the scene description below, watch the scene, transcribe the scene, and then continue to watch this video. So first I'll take a look at the scene as I transcribed it, and then we'll check our work against the Coen Brothers as they wrote it. Okay, here's my attempt. Interior Ralph's night. A long-haired stoner in his late 40s wearing a beige bathrobe and sunglasses strolls down an empty supermarket aisle. His name is Jeffrey Lebowski, but we'll come to know him as the Dude. The Dude approaches the dairy section, picks up a couple cartons of half and half, checks their labels, weighs his options, and eventually selects one. He looks over his shoulder and checks for witnesses. Seeing no one, he opens the carton, holds the spout up to his nose, and takes a deep whiff. Checkout counter. A jaded cashier stares at the Dude who is in the midst of writing out a check for 69 cents. The Dude glances up over his sunglasses and notices George Bush Sr. on a small television set behind the cashier. Alright, that was my attempt. Let's get humbled. Okay, here's the original version minus the dialogue. Interior Ralph's night. It is late, the supermarket all but deserted. We track in on a 40-ish man in Bermuda shorts and sunglasses at the dairy case. He is the Dude. His rumpled look and relaxed manner suggest a man in whom casualness runs deep. Oh my God, it's so good. He feels quarts of milk for coldness and examines their expiration dates. The Dude glances furtively about and then opens a quart of milk. He sticks his nose in the spout and sniffs. Checkout girl. She waits, arms folded. The Dude scribbles something at a little customer's lectern. Milk beads his mustache. The Dude has his Ralph Shoppers Club card to one side and makes out a check to Ralph's for 69 cents. The Dude peeks over his shades at a small black and white TV next to the register that shows George Bush on the White House lawn with helicopter rotors spinning behind him. Okay, wow. Okay, let's look at why the Coen Brothers script is so much better than the one I wrote. It is late, the supermarket all but deserted. Okay, I like that much better than empty. It just paints a much clearer picture. This sentence is amazing. His rumpled look and relaxed manner suggest a man in whom casualness runs deep. That just paints such a specific mood and feeling. And after watching the scene, you can just see how much of that translates into the costume and physicality of the character. He feels quarts of milk for coldness and examines their expiration dates. I like this much better than what I did because over here, what I wrote, it feels more clinical. Checks their labels, weighs his options, and eventually selects one. Yes, that's clear, but feeling quarts of milk for coldness and examining expiration dates, that just seems to get right to the heart of it. The Dude glances furtively about. I love that. It's a great vocab word. It's more efficient than he looks over his shoulder and checks for witnesses. The Dude glances furtively about. Less words, clearer, more accurate. I like that instead of a new bolded slug line, they just say checkout girl. She waits arms folded. Again, way more efficient. A jaded cashier stares at the dude. She waits arms folded. That just gives you so much attitude and feeling in 4 words. The dude scribbles something at the little customer's lectern. Okay, I would never think to use little customer's lectern, but that's exactly what it is. Milk beads his mustache. Fantastic. I didn't even pick up on that. I'm guessing that's maybe due to the YouTube compression on the scene, but now that it's written, I'm remembering in the original film, you can see very clearly that there's bits of Milk beating his mustache. One thing I'm noticing that they're doing a much better job of is you can see the shots more clearly in their scene description. Here I wrote, a jaded cashier stares at the dude who is in the midst of writing out a check for 69 cents. They describe the shots much more accurately. So the cashier is waiting. He's writing something, but we're not seeing what it is yet. But we are noticing the milk on his mustache. And then we're cutting to a new shot of the Ralph Shoppers Club card and the check for 69 cents. So I kind of bundled this all into one sentence, and it's not as parsed out. So you're not able to see the shots as clearly. Whereas over here, they're taking us through the scene step by step, and we're getting a very clear image of what they want us to see, and they translate that beautifully to screen. So the Coen Brothers are obviously very well read. They're great writers. They have great vocabulary, and hopefully this was an instructive exercise. If you found this helpful, I encourage you to do this on your own with your favorite movies and scripts. It's a really great way to step up your game on scene description. One of my favorite scripts is Ex Machina by Alex Garland. I would definitely recommend doing the same exercise with his script because that's another script that's just beautifully written. Every beat is laid out with economy and clarity and poetry, and it's just fantastic. Okay, this episode was different from what we usually do, but hopefully it was instructive. Maybe we'll do more of this. If you feel inspired, please paste your transcription of the scene in the comments below, and we can all check our work against each other and be collectively humbled by the brilliance of the Coen Brothers. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.